Live from the Scarborough Rescue Studios.
What's up, guys? There we go. I'm going to do a quick talk tonight for the good old podcast listeners out there. A quick one. All right, let's see here. Alright, let me get this open up here. So I have this thing where I'll know that I have something to do, and if I know I have something to do and I lay in bed, I'll struggle falling asleep because I'm just so scared that I won't wake up to do the thing that I have to do. And I've realized that I can try to go to sleep at a reasonable hour, and it just never works out. So I may as well just stay up. You know, not stay up, but I'm all night. But I mean, just stay up until you get to the point where you can fall asleep as soon as you lay down. And, if you get 3 or 4 hours, that's usually fine. Let me send this out. I'm going to get a link to this here real quick and live right meow. If y'all want to chat it up. Yeah, let's see here. New project. Podcast. Yeah, so, I went ahead and did a little bit of laundry that I need to do as soon as I got home. And yeah, I did that. I watched the Tyson Fury fight, which was outstanding and hilarious almost. Like, he was mocking him. It was funny to watch if anybody watched the Tyson Fury fight. Or if you're into shit like that. Bring this in here. Are you going to recognize it? So I can let go of this button? No, you're not. Try it again. Okay, now you see what it is. Yeah. What up, Ghost? Get you a wrench, dog. Dude, it's late. I know it's late, so I'm not really too worried about that. I honestly just needed to record a podcast, and I always go live for the podcast episodes. So I got to get one done before the wee hours of the morning. I'm only going to go for maybe 30 or 45, if that. And that's on the episode. I hadn't even started recording it yet. But I'm going to go here to that. And we'll do this. Hells yeah, that's right. Let's see here. GarageBand. And we'll bring that up above the Dark Forest layout. It should have, but not above my video capture device. Bring this down. I kind of like the Dark Forest. Nah, man, you good? You good, dog? You good? I usually go back and forth in the chat anyway in episodes, so that's totally cool, homie. I'm gonna do that there and get that set up. Now I am going to talk about some things. All right. Happy Father's Day out there, dads. All the dads and things. Happy Father's Day to you. I am sitting here. It's about 1:50 a.m. in the east, of course. And I am going to be going to see my dad tomorrow. We're going to do dinner at 1 o'clock at my sister's house. And I'm doing that. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And I know that I should already be asleep so that I can get a good night's sleep and wake up rested. But it doesn't matter. I could have went to bed at midnight. I would have still slept until, noon or better. So no matter what time I go to bed, it's going to be early when I wake up. And that's all there is to it. So I've just been putting that off. I watched the Tyson Fury fight. I watched Jamie Deluxe live. And I watched... What else did I watch? Oh, I watched the Paley Fest 2019 for the 10-year reunion of Parks and Rec, which was so much fun to watch. Parks and Rec was such a damn good show. And it was pretty awesome to see all those characters like being themselves, but also like you can tell the character is like built after them. And it's I don't know, it was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. And I did that. I cooked me a damn steak. And that ended up going pretty good. Move that little subscribe button down just a hair so you can see exactly what it's pointing at. But yeah, I wanted to talk about people's expectations of what a live show is. as far as music goes, for like a live concert or a gig at a bar. We had this guy at a gig last night at Pirates Cove, and he walked in and just matter of fact said, "This is what's going to happen." Just, he matter of factly said, like, not this is what, like, but that's just the way I heard it. He walked in and he was like, blah, 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 play it. Y'all got it. Play it. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever it was. He just like was almost demanding. And on the microphone, I was just like, no. And like everybody in the room kind of laughed. And the guy just had one of those, like demeanors about him that he was just like, I'm always the most important person in every room, and everybody's going to look at me because I am said most important person in the room. And I just cannot stand people like that. And it just really, really bothered me that he was just doing everything he could to draw attention to himself. And that kind of aggravated me a good bit. But we ended up playing the songs the guy asked for, and the gig was not ideal. It was just it was dead. And what's weird, and I wish I hadn't have dropped the name of this place since I'm going to say this, but if it comes back on me, oh well. But the bar that's in front of us, right, is the main bar in this place, but they have like rebuilt this joint to where there's a bar behind the stage as well. So the bar behind the stage was doing a right bit better than the one in front of it. So the bar in front of us, they closed it down like an hour before we were done. And it just got dark around the bar. Like they were cutting lights off and things over there. And there were like two guys sitting in that bar area who stayed the whole time. And like we played a gig for them and the staff. And honestly, that was really cool. And I did the episode recently about how it's strange when it's strange when the artist has to provide all of the energy for the gig, but those guys that hung around there at the end were providing a pretty good bit of energy that like even I was like, we can wait a little bit longer before we leave, and that'll be fine. Because Smitty, and rightfully so, was ready to go at like, we were all ready to leave early. I told him, I was like, I was ready to leave when I got to your house, dog. I was just tired last night. But yeah, we were all ready to go at the end, and just that guy that came in at the very beginning, and I just gave him a hard no. I was just like, no. He asked us for Purple Rain. He was like, Prince, Purple Rain, play it. He said it just like that, and I was just like, no. I was like, dude, you come here demanding things like that? Like, we don't, all right, you come up to us and you say, hey, can you please play this song? And even if it's a song that I don't want to play, if you're nice about it, we'll do it. Unless of course it's you never been to a live concert, really goes? Absolutely. It's something that can, and also listeners, if you're just listening to this, I'm suggest that you go to the YouTube and watch the video so that you can see the chat, which I'm responding to, and but I'll pretty much be like reading these out too, so that you're not left in the dark. But yeah, you're right. There's just a finite amount of things that a live show can do. Like you'll never get the experience to where you're actually in the in the room with these people that are creating this thing. It's one thing to listen to it in your car riding down the street, but to be in the room with these people while they're creating this stuff is pretty neat. But yeah, it just wasn't our night. It wasn't very busy, and that's beside the point. This guy that was just demanding things, and I was talking about it in an episode recently about like certain songs that we'll retire, like or certain songs that we've done a bunch that anybody can do that we don't really do so much. Like unless it's a song that we've just played out and it's boring to us, we'll do basically anything that somebody comes up and asks for nicely. And in the middle of a song is always a terrible thing to do, and people like to ask for songs in the middle of songs, and if they do that, I usually don't respond to it unless it's just something I really want to do. But yeah. But yeah, that dude did seem like, it seemed like trash to me, man. He just walked in the room and was like, Prince, Purple Rain, play it. And he did it just like that. Just so matter of fact, like, come on, man, there's a better way to do this. And I was just aggravated at that point. But like I said, we got to the point where those guys, shit. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second, but I got it now. So the guys that were sitting in the corner of the room, but basically beside the bar, that they literally shut down an hour out of our gig. Like we were still an hour out of the end. So we are playing to these two guys, and I said in an episode recently that energy means a lot to a room. Like if the artist, there has to be a certain amount of energy, just like you're saying, Ghost. You've never been to a live concert, but in a live concert, there's a certain energy level that the room has to maintain for everybody to have a good time. Now, if the crowd is supplying the majority of this energy that is in the room, that takes a lot of the pressure off of the band. So the band is more comfortable. The band doesn't have to provide all of the energy. But if the room is not providing the energy, say 100% energy needs to be in a room for homeostasis for a live gig. Now, if the band has to provide 100% of that energy, they're going to be completely drained by the end of this thing. It's like if one person walks into a restaurant with 20 people and that one person pays the entire tab for everybody else in the bar, then that guy's bill is going to be extremely high. It would be a lot better if everybody would just take care of themselves, right? But sometimes it doesn't work like that. And this guy's energy was just aggressive, and I don't really like that. Just people who walk into a room and they're like, everybody look at me now, I'm here. And I just heard him talking to Ed, and I always listen, but I never like act like I hear. But I heard him talking to Ed, and he was like, so hey, you guys got a hype man? And Ed probably don't even know I heard this. But he's like, you guys got a hype man? And Ed's like, a hype man? He's like, yeah, somebody to hype up the crowd, man. He's like, I'm your hype man. He's like, how about this? Before you guys get playing, I'll get on stage. I'll introduce you. And I just acted like I didn't hear any of this stuff. But I heard all of it. And it was funny because Ed's just like, no, that's not going to happen. But whenever we got on stage and we made the first note, this dude's just hollering something from out of the crowd. And as he's doing that, like none of us understood what he said, and I was just like, "What?" Not like to repeat it because the dude was a jerk in a way. But he did come out and he was like he was dancing with one of the dude's wives, and then the guy and his wife came out and danced. I mean, it wasn't like a bad thing. He was just, I don't know, just drunk, I guess. But that guy was just a really aggravating piece of work, and I don't know. I've just seen a few people like that in the past, and I just don't understand. I don't understand their thought process. But anyway, beside the point. So we ended up finishing this gig last night, and my guitar just needed a little TLC. The one that I usually play here, it is spent last night and tonight and more than likely tomorrow night out of my house for the first time that my guitar in a long time has spent that many hours away from me. I give inanimate objects personalities. Yeah, exactly. The guy, you're right, Ghost. He can't. The guy just really can't run up and request things like he owns the place. That's no way to be about life. But yes, I give, and if any dedicated listener who's been listening from day one, I know there's a few troopers out there who's heard every episode. You guys will be the ones who will know that I give inanimate objects personalities. My guitar, she my girl. That's my girl right there. And it's been 3 days. Well, you know what? It's been 3 days. It was last night, tonight, and tomorrow night will have been 3 nights that I will have gone without my girl. And unless I can get up with Brother Ed tomorrow on my way back from the land of cotton, I am going to be 3 nights without it. But apparently he has fixed something that was wrong with my guitar. In the past, I know this is not going to make a lot of sense to the non-musicians, but I know I have a few musicians that listen. So in the past, my low E string, which is this one right here, has always been very faint compared to the rest of the strings. Like, say, all the other strings are 100% volume. That low E has always been at about 40, maybe 50. But it's just not as loud as it would need to be, is what I mean. So after he said he texted me back, he said it was fixed. He said now he thinks that's going to be loud. And I'm like, good, because I've missed it for a while. And I mean, I can control EQ wise. I can control control it so that it doesn't like feedback or anything. I'm worried that might be the issue, that it might just be so loud now that it might feedback. But I'm not really worried too much about it, because it gives my guitar the ass that it did the extra oomph that it needed. So anyway, appreciate Brother Ed for doing that. That gig just sort of, the gig last night sort of, I think would be the best textbook way to explain to somebody how, like, all the different aspects of a gig that somebody might have to deal with, like a obstacle course almost. Like, last night had a lot of things in the way. And the things in the way were, one, there were not very many people there at all. Therefore, the band had to provide 100% of the energy. And that was the main thing. The second thing is that we were dealing with one of those personalities in the crowd who can't stand the thought of somebody in the room looking at somebody other than them. So dealing with that in life even is a difficult thing. I'm sure you guys would agree. But dealing with that when you're trying to, perform a show and do your job, basically. A lot of people don't think of, like, playing a gig as doing a job, but it most certainly is. And I know you guys are like, oh, here he goes again. But what we do is work. It is work. It is something that we get paid for, and it is my only job. And not to brag, but I've done pretty well over the last few years by doing just this. And it's like, it's a job, it's work. And I know the old saying, like, how about on Monday morning I come to your office and I sit down and I just go up to your computer and I just start, do or whatever. Just insert any analogy for whatever you do for work. And it would not be acceptable. But because what we do is a novelty, I guess, something that people don't take too seriously or anything like that, it's like we can do whatever we want to do. Like, this is a toy for us to play with. This is replacing the jukebox, so we can just come up and give you $1 and ask you to play this song and you'll do it. Now, that is true. We will do that, and we appreciate tips. We 100% appreciate the tips. And I have nothing in the world against somebody who comes up and it doesn't take a lot of thinking to figure out that, if wait until the song's over, take your moment, walk up, ask me for the song. I'm more than happy to talk to you. And usually I'm like asking people to holler it out to me, like just holler it out, you know. This is acceptable. This is a thing that we can do in the South. You know, I don't know if it works elsewhere. I don't know where you're from, Ghost, but I don't know if this works elsewhere. But I mean, I'm like, anything you want to hear, feel free to holler it out. There's a 10% chance I'll know it. I'll do 10% of what I don't know, 100% of what I do know within reason. This is a family establishment. That's how the spiel goes every single time. And that's that every single time it goes like that. And that just sort of, and sometimes if I have a real hard time getting the crowd to like wake up, and I'll do their requests as I know them. There's some songs that people ask for, I'm just like, listen, I'm sorry, but Tennessee Whiskey, if you want to hear Tennessee Whiskey, I'll do the George Jones version. I'll do the original version. And everybody's like, well, David Allan Coe did it first. And I'm like, yeah, but David Allan Coe also recorded a lot of other racist songs that I'm not too fond of. And I'd rather say George Jones' name on the microphone than David Allan Coe's. And as a matter of fact, the only other David Allan Coe song that we will do, you don't have to call me or call me by my name every now and again. If there's like a rowdy room that we know we could just like, they're at the boiling point and we know we could just send that room in the overdrive if we do it, we'll do that song every now and again. But other than that, The Ride, because it's about Hank Williams, who's my favorite songwriter. And I just don't care to. I mean, he wrote a lot of other music that has like really racist music that I don't stand behind. So I call it the George Jones version, but I'll do that. And I tell people that. And tonight I played Etta James, I'd Rather Go Blind, because that's what the song's based on. It's like, something told me it was over. But anyway, it's that's what the song, the Tennessee Whiskey, the new one, is based on. Is that it's just that's the music for the song. They stole the music, stole the lyrics, and when I first heard it, I was like, wow, this is great. But looking back, and now that I've had all this time to think about it, I mean, like, yes, he's a great songwriter, and I'm so glad now that the world knows who he is. But I hate that after all the great songs that he wrote on that album, that was the one that woke the world up to this guy. I'm just so upset that it has to be something that's that cerebral, that where people are only responding to the thing that they've heard before. Because like, wow, this sounds familiar. And then it's like, oh, these words, this sounds familiar too. And then it's got a simple chorus that everybody can like hum along to or whatever and remember. And that's great. It screams Nashville, it screams record industry, and that just really bothers me that that's all it takes, because it sort of cheapens my art. And I, as a songwriter, feel cheapened when it's like this fantastic songwriter who has all these great original songs could do all of these fantastic things with words. And the song that pushes him over the top is a song he didn't write to music he didn't write. And that just that sentiment in itself is disheartening for me. And I know that I'm a weirdo, and I know I have a weird brain and a weird way to think about things, a weird way of thinking about things. But I just that really, really bothers me that's the one that pushed him over the top. But that I totally went off on a rant on that, and sorry. But like I said, I'll try to interact with the crowd. I'll try to get them to talk to me. I want them to feel included in the conversation. I want them to feel like what I'm doing is not much different than what they're doing. Because when they kind of see themselves on a similar level as you, then the respect thing starts to come into play, where they're like, okay, this guy he's being nice enough to include me into this conversation that he's having with the room. Like I love talking to the room. I love that. was probably one of the main things that fascinates me about Kill Tony and the comedians and the comedy things, the stand-up that I watch, is because it's people just talking to a room full of people. And I love doing that. I love that. And I just think that once they see me as a person and equal to them and someone that they can have respect for, it brings me up from that guy who you can give money and he'll play the Tennessee Whiskey. And this, and now sometimes they'll get me sometimes if they send the kid up. If they send the kid up with $1 and the kid sweetly asks me to play whatever song they ask me to play. I mean, I can't turn a cute kid down that's wanting to hear like Brown Eyed Girl. I did Brown Eyed Girl tonight because they sent the kid up, and she's like just like holding the dollar up with both hands, and I was like, man, I can't say no to that. That's just too sweet. And of course I'll do that. But then she came up and she asked for Sweet Caroline, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I just don't know it. And now all the kids' favorite song is that Old Town Road song, and I just don't know it, and I'll never know it. But all the kids are loving that song now, and I don't know why. I mean, it's a different time, man, I guess. What can you do? Anyway, yeah, so there was a couple of those tonight. I had, what else did I get requested that was kind of cliche? Oh, Journey. Somebody wanted to hear Journey. But I do this different version of like what's it called? Damn it, the most popular Journey song there is. What is it? Why am I drawing a blank on this right now? Don't Stop Believing. I played Don't Stop Believing into With or Without You by U2. It's the same exact chord progression basically. And I did that, and it's a pretty cool version of that. So I did that, and the crowd dug that. And what's so weird is that it's literally like selling your soul to the devil. And I wore my Deal with the Devil shirt today. It's so funny. It's like selling your soul to the devil, because the more of these songs that are, let's say, just undesirable songs for musicians to play, like songs that we've been playing all of our lives, like say you learn how to play guitar and you're given a dozen songs. That dozen songs is just about all of us, is what just about every room that we play down here wants to hear. Every single room every single time we play, we get requested Zach Brown, which is more than likely the Chicken Fried song that they want to hear. We get Tennessee Whiskey. We get Simple Man. We get Sweet Home Alabama. And I love Leonard Skinner, y'all. Roll Tide. I love Leonard Skinner, but it's like, yeah, that's exactly right, Ghost. I do feel my music, and I want people to feel it too. Just right, and it's not because it's like because everybody else likes it. I don't want you to like this song because everybody else likes it. I want you to like it because it's good and you enjoy it. Or not even because it's good. It doesn't have to be good for people to enjoy it. I like a lot of shit that's not good. Like, that is not perfect. But it's great because I like it. I just want people to like things because they like things. Not because... I got a line in a song I wrote called America about buying feelings off the rack. Like, people just buy shit off the rack so much. For those that aren't familiar with what that means, buying off the rack is... people used to have to get their clothes tailor-made to their body to fit. And now, like, eventually they just started making, okay, so these are the popular sizes. Let's just make these. So now people just go and buy off the rack so they can say, okay, this fits fine. This fits fine enough. I think I'll just take this. Well, people do that with every aspect of their life. They like, okay, so everybody likes this TV show. I also like this TV show because everybody else likes this TV show. Or everybody likes this song. I like this song because everybody else likes it too. They just don't think about how this is like, you can make up your own mind. You can make your own decisions. You can choose the thing that you like that not everybody likes. And that's fine. If you like it, that's what makes people great. That's what makes people beautiful. Just the fact that they can like something that not everybody likes, and they're still, that makes them more themselves, more unique. And I'll do, during a gig, I'll throw in like 3 or 4 really obscure songs, like stuff that nobody is going to know in that room. But I do that because every now and again, there's somebody sitting in the corner that'll make eye contact with you when they hear that one defining note in the beginning of Shine On Crazy Diamond, which I also did tonight. That when they hear that boom, or however it goes, I can't do it on bass, but whenever they hear that note, they immediately like, okay, they make eye contact with you, and they're like, I get what you got going on. Like, I get that, and I love that when I do something super obscure. I did, what did I do? I did Grandma's Hands by Bill Withers, and nobody does Grandma's Hands by Bill Withers. Nobody does that. But I did that one tonight, and there was a table of people who like were singing along with that song, and like not everybody knows that song, and I just thought that like, shit, this is a great moment right now, because these people are going to go away and say, that's good. You remember that? I hadn't heard that song in years, and that guy played it last night. And I love that. I love that thought. I love the thought that people are going to say, shit, that was cool. Like that was cool that he knew that. And I love that. I love that stuff. Cornbread does the same thing. Like, we get to the point, me and Smitty actually had the conversation last night, that if we do a song in a gig, that means we can't do it the next gig. We should not be able to repeat songs 2 nights in a row, just because I personally, and I told him, I was like, man, I know it's a weird thing that I've got, but like, I get sick of doing certain songs if we do them every single time. Like, if I know every single time that this song's going to come up, then I just slowly get turned against it. And I don't mean to. That's how I am. I'm that way. And I do that in my solo gigs. Like, I think I did, and I told him, I was like, I won't do any songs tonight that I did last night. And I remembered I did one song tonight that we did last night, and it was Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. I opened with it, and it's a good song, but but that's the only song that I did tonight that we also did last night. And I don't know, man. The room was all right. I did decent in tips. The room was good. I didn't get asked to turn down once, and that's usually a gig tonight. The solo gig that I did tonight, I usually get asked to turn down a little bit. But yeah, I didn't get asked to turn down once. It was a good gig. Tonight's gig definitely made up for last night's gig. Like the energy of the room. Like, the room provided plenty of the energy this evening. And I had this crowd of folks that was sitting behind me, actually, and they were the most active people. And I was like talking to them over my shoulder. And yeah, they requested a lot of songs. What was it that he requested? Something that was kind of run of the mill, but I did it. Oh, Midnight Rider. Yeah, Midnight Rider is a great song too, but yeah, you know, it's one of those that once you learn how to play guitar, it's like you're uploaded with the ability to play Midnight Rider, Tennessee Whiskey, Sweet Home Alabama, Simple Man, Wagon Wheel. But these are the songs that you learn. You know, these are the songs that you know. Hootie and the Blowfish, every Let Her Cry, which Let Her Cry, Hootie, they're great, but y'all gotta understand, I'm from South Carolina. I've been playing these songs since I was 13 years old, and I'll be 33 this year. So for 20 years, I've been playing these songs. And I just, every now and again, just want to do something different. And that's what me and Smitty were talking about last night. We've really been adding a lot of cool shit to the set list lately. And we don't have a set list, but just to our shows, been adding a lot of really cool shit. Like we're doing a few My Morning Jacket, or a couple My Morning Jacket songs. We're doing Arcade Fire tune. Trying to get them turned on. The guys turned on to some Jose Gonzalez. Smitty sent a bunch of songs today, but I told him to send YouTube links. By the way, Smitty, if you listen to this, please send us YouTube links. It's just I want to know the exact version of this song that you want me to hear, and I do the same thing in the group text. I'll just send you guys YouTube videos and stuff so you know exactly the one that I'm listening to and thinking of when I want to play the song. So please do that. But yeah, I don't know. I dig like impressing the room. I dig like doing things where they're like, oh, these guys shouldn't know this, because most of the music that I play was released and recorded years and years before I was born. And people are like, you shouldn't know that, and I love that. That's one of the best compliments that I get. One of my favorite compliments is you shouldn't know that, but I do. And it's really, really, really interesting how I can like relate with those people who come up to me like, yeah, you shouldn't know that, or that song is something that you shouldn't know. I really enjoyed everything that you did. More so than those who come up to me and ask me for, like, they hear me doing a lot of B-siders and like a lot of obscure stuff, and then they come up and they're like, I'm gonna stump this guy. Like I'm gonna ask him for something that nobody's gonna know. Like you come up to me and you ask me for this guy's, like, oh, this guy, he plays a lot up in blah 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 blah, and I'm like, yeah, I haven't listened to the radio in years, and to be honest, I don't really listen to a lot of music. I really don't. I don't listen to a lot of music. The 90%, I would say 90 to not 100, but upwards of 90% of the music that I hear when I'm out. Like I hear when I'm at a bar, like on set breaks, or when I hit my playlist whenever we're running music for breaks at a gig. That's when I hear 90% of the music that I listen to. I just don't listen to a lot. And I try to do that because, like, I'm a chameleon when it comes to that. Like, if I hear it, it'll come out. Like, if I hear it, I'll turn into it. Like, the more I listen to stuff, the more I sound like that. And I try not to do that so much so that I maintain my natural sounds. But now it's to the point where I think when I hear stuff, I hear myself doing it. How narcissistic is that? To where when I hear somebody else doing something, I hear how I would do it, and that's the version that I listen to. In my head, me doing something else. But anyway, it's about to be the 2:30 hour, guys. I wanted to just get a good few minutes of content out. We're scooting up around the 40-minute mark here on the audio. But I did want to get this, get you some content. Forgive me for not recording on Wednesday. I'm going to try my damnedest to get an episode out to you tomorrow, but it is Father's Day, or today, technically. It is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And, I'm going to go spend the afternoon with my dad tomorrow and, chill out at my sister's house for a little while. And I will more than likely be back fairly early, just because I know me, and I'll know that I'll start to get that feeling, that feeling where I'm just like knowing that I'm not home, and I'll just want to get back home. So I'll probably, hang out for a couple hours or whatever and chill with them and head back home, and maybe try to get up and get my guitar, get up to North Myrtle Beach, but we'll see how it works. Anyway, please go to mistuffpodcast.com, mistuffpodcast.com, And click all of the social media links up there. If you guys want to follow me on social media, you can go to Facebook, Kelsey Hudgens. That's right. Shout it out. Tell him, Ghost. Shout out. But no, please go to In My Stuff Podcast. Click all the social media links. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Kelsey Hudgens. Right now is a picture of me and my dad with a Father's Day present from a couple years ago. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Yonder Wizard. It's a picture of just my face with sunglasses on. WIZZERD if you guys want to follow me there. Twitter as well, at Kelsey Hudgens. Please click subscribe on the YouTube page if you have not done that yet. And if you have only listened on YouTube, or watched on YouTube rather, please go subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on Spotify, anywhere podcasts are available. In My Stuff Podcast is there, and you can download anywhere, or you can just listen straight from the website, inmystuffpodcast.com. And ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful sponsors over at screwballwhiskey.com, SKREW ballwhiskey.com, Screwball Whiskey, got a pretty sweet shout out from Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters the other day at a live show, talking about his new favorite whiskey, his peanut butter whiskey that comes from San Diego, and that just so happens to be our wonderful sponsors over at screwballwhiskey.com, screwballwhiskey.com. Go there and do that. If you are on YouTube, the website is on the screen right now. You cannot click that, but that is the proper way to spell screwballwhiskey.com. You can go there and you can check out all of the things that they have to offer at screwballwhiskey.com. And also on YouTube right now is all the links to all of the pages that I have, the website, the Instagram, the Facebook, the Podomatic site, the Twitter, the PayPal tip jar. All those things are there if you guys want to check that out on the YouTube if you're not watching it. And please hit that subscribe button if you hadn't, guys. And please share it out. We're trying to get up to 420 subscriptions before, actually in no given time. But that's our next threshold that we want to reach. So help us get there. Click subscribe. And let's see. I talked to Smitty. We were talking about doing an episode tomorrow, and that is still potentially in the works, depending on what time I get back from the land of cotton, there where my folks are going to be. So you're definitely going to be getting an episode from me tomorrow. It might be just me, depending on how I feel when I get back, and because I'm just quirky. I don't know if I feel like, setting up for guests or not. Just depends. But anyway, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get out of here because I got to take a piss pretty bad, and I probably need to get to sleep. So, in a world full of shitty people, don't be one of those people. Be a good person. Peace, bitches. All right, YouTubers, thanks for hanging out. If you guys want to hang out for a second longer, I'm going to do this intro here, and then we'll all get out of here and go to bed. No, I can't do it yet. I got to listen. Hold on. Let's see. I got to listen to it so I can figure out where to come in. Oh, I see it right there. It is. Hey guys, how you living? Are you doing well? Good, glad to hear that. Indeed, live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios, ladies and gentlemen. Screwball Whiskey, our wonderful sponsors out of the beautiful West Coast. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, screwballwhiskey.com. Got a fantastic shout out the other day from brother Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters on stage, and very proud of them, very proud of our sponsors. And thank you guys so much for all that you have done in the past. And we love you. We love you here. Anywho, live from the Screwball Whiskey Studios, we were here talking about a jerk that was at the gig. Not a jerk that was at the gig. You'll see. Just, you know how I am. I like to bitch about random people that do random things at a gig that people might not know is inappropriate to do or wrong to do, and I just have a weird quirk about it, so forgive me. I just rant a little bit about that. And, yeah, I pretty much talked about that, just like the energy of a room and a lot of just live gig stuff, like a little bit of inside the head of a musician, which is basically not news to you guys, because if you're here now, you probably heard an episode before, and if you haven't, welcome, and thank you for listening. And if this is your first time here, then please go to our YouTube page and click subscribe. Kelsey Hudgens, KELSEYHUDGINS, and click subscribe. And you don't have to click the little bell if you don't want to. That will give you the notifications. If you don't want the notifications, don't click the bell. If you would like to be notified anytime that I go live, then click the little bell beside my name after you've subscribed, and I would certainly appreciate that. Anywho, also, please go to mystuffpodcast.com and check out the blog. I got the blog in there. I got all the links to all the social media up there. I've got a link to the YouTube. You can stream the episodes live from, or stream the episodes from there. Yeah, you can listen live there. Not listen live, but you can listen there. And you can also get up to the Instagram and the Facebook, all the social medias. You'll see them up there. And if you guys want to follow me on social media, you can follow Kelsey Hudgens on Facebook. Right now, it's the picture of me and my dad. And Instagram, Yonder Wizard. It's a little picture of me with sunglasses. Just my face. Yonder Wizard, WIZZERD on Instagram. And at Kelsey Hudgens on Twitter. I at least tweet random shit every day about whatever I'm watching, which has been a lot of Kill Tony lately. So my Twitter feed has been nothing but Kill Tony shit and shit over the last couple of months, honestly. So there's that. But yeah, follow me on all those things if you want. But please click subscribe on the YouTube page so we can get to 420 subscribers. That's our next threshold we're trying to reach. So help us get there, please. All right. So what else do I got for you? Oh, yes. Happy Father's Day out there, dads. Maybe getting an episode later tonight with Smitty, depending on what time I get back from the home front, land of cotton. And but anyway, we'll see. So until then, however, I do have this prepared for you. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, episode number 143 of MI Stuff Podcast. Enjoy, motherfuckers. All right, YouTubers, thanks for hanging out. I love you. I mean it. Be good people. In a world full of shitty people, don't be one of those people. Be a good person. Peace, bitches.